I took this job because I needed to disappear. Graveyard shifts at St. Augustine Memorial, an old decaying hospital tucked away in a dying part of town, seemed perfect for someone like me. Few staff, fewer patients, and absolutely no questions asked. A job in a place like this lets you hide, and that's what I wanted. The night shift starts at 11 p.m. The overhead lights flicker like dying bugs when I walk in, and the corridors smell faintly of bleach and something sour underneath it. I signed my contract a week ago, but it still doesn't feel real. The HR lady who hired me didn't even interview me. She just handed me a badge and mumbled something about filling holes. I never questioned it. "Hey, newbie," Frank calls out. He's a burly guy in his 50s with a gray mustache and a constant frown. "You're covering Ward C tonight. Got a few long haulers in there, so just keep an eye on the machines and make sure no one codes out. No one bothers Ward C anyway." Ward C is the farthest wing of the hospital. Barely staffed, barely maintained. Perfect for me. I nod and flash a polite smile. "You'll do fine," Frank mutters, though it doesn't sound like encouragement. I make my way toward C, dragging my feet down hallways that feel too empty. You ever get the sense that a place is holding its breath? Like something's waiting just around the corner. That's what St. Augustine feels like, especially at night. The wing has only 4 patients tonight, spaced out across empty rooms. Mr. Daniels in 301, stage 4 cancer, deeply sedated. Ellen Marsh in 303, recovering from surgery, asleep. 2 others I don't even see. Their doors are closed, and I don't feel like prying. I set up at the nurse's station and stare at the monitors. The hum of machines fills the silence. Every so often, I hear the far-off squeak of a cart, the shuffle of shoes. Could be staff, could be rats. At St. Augustine, there's no telling. At around 2 a.m., the first odd thing happens. Room 303's monitor lets out a single beep. Not an emergency. Just enough to get my attention. I glance up at Ellen Marsh's vitals. Normal, stable. I frown and make my way to her room to double check. When I open the door, she's gone. The bed is empty. The IV stand sways slightly, like someone just yanked it free. The bathroom door is open, the lights off. My pulse spikes, but I tell myself to relax. Maybe she got up. Maybe she's wandering the halls. I step back into the corridor and look both ways. Nothing. "Ellen?" I call out softly, feeling stupid. My voice echoes back to me. I check the other rooms. Empty. Even Mr. Daniels in 301. His IV lines are still dripping onto the floor, a stain spreading across the tile. There's no code blue, no signs of struggle. Just gone. I rush back to the nurse's station to call Frank, but the phone line is dead. A static hum buzzes faintly in my ear. Then I see it on the monitor. The camera feed for room 301 flickers, then cuts out entirely. When it comes back, I see a figure standing in the corner of the room. A tall silhouette, motionless, facing the camera. My breath catches. I lean closer. The figure isn't Mr. Daniels. It's not anyone I recognize. The feed stutters, glitching out, but the figure doesn't move. It just stares into the camera. And then it raises a hand and waves. I shove my chair back so hard it tips over. When I blink, the monitor cuts to black. I don't know what's happening, but something is very, very wrong. I grab my phone, desperate to call anyone, but there's no signal. I'm trembling now, trying to figure out what to do when I hear it, a soft ding from one of the computers at the nurse's station. The screen, which was blank a second ago, is now filled with a black window and a single line of white text. Lot 82, closed. Another ding. Lot 83, now open. The cursor blinks, waiting. My stomach knots as I scroll down and see a list of patient names, each accompanied by a number and a bid. My name isn't on it. Yet, I hear footsteps behind me, slow, deliberate. I turn around, and the last thing I see before the lights cut out completely is a tall figure standing at the end of the hallway, waving. The lights flicker back on, but the hallway is empty. No figure, no sound. I'm left standing there, my breath shallow, my hands trembling. I turn back to the nurse's station, to the computer screen that still reads, Lot 83, now open. I don't know what this is what lot means or why there's a list of names, but I know it's bad. And I know that Ellen Marsh and Mr. Daniels were on that list. I scroll down further. At the bottom of the screen, a name catches my eye. Julia Clements, Lot 85, pending. See, that's me. My mouth goes dry. It doesn't feel real, but I can't ignore what I'm seeing. My name waiting to be auctioned. The sound of footsteps echoes down the hall again. Soft, measured. My pulse hammers in my ears as I grab a flashlight and bolt toward the staff elevator. I need to find Frank or anyone else still in the building. I don't care who. The elevator doors creak open on the ground floor, but the main lobby is completely deserted. I step out, every sound amplified my shoes tapping, the faint hum of the flickering lights overhead. There's no security guard at the front desk, no janitor. It's like the entire hospital has emptied itself out. But then I see someone. A man is sitting at the far end of the lobby, back to me. He's hunched over an old computer terminal, typing. The screen casts an eerie glow across his slouched frame. Hey, I call out, my voice shaking. Hey, something's happening. The patients are gone, and he doesn't move. I step closer, flashlight shaking in my hand. Did you hear me? People are. He turns around. It's Frank, or what used to be Frank. His eyes are glazed over, wide and unfocused, like he's staring right through me. His mouth is moving, whispering something I can't hear. And his hands are still typing, even though he's turned completely away from the keyboard. Frank? I whisper. The whispering stops. For a long moment, we just stare at each other. Then he croaks out, in a voice that sounds like it's being dragged across gravel. Your lot is almost ready. I stumble back, my flashlight slipping from my hands. It rolls across the floor, spinning light across the walls. When I look up again, Frank is standing. He's too close now, right in front of me, and he leans in until I can smell his breath, sour and metallic. They're watching you. I ran. I don't know where I'm going, but my body moved on pure instinct. I head for the stairwell, knowing elevators aren't safe anymore. The metal doors slam shut behind me, and I sprint up to the third floor, my footsteps echoing into nothingness. Ward C was different when I got back. The lights are dimmer, casting the hallways in shadow. The walls look wrong, like they're breathing in and out, the plaster warping just slightly as I pass by. I stop in front of one of the patients' rooms and peer inside. Someone is lying in the bed. At first, I thought it was Mr. Daniels, but as I stepped closer, my heart seized in my chest. It's me. I'm lying there, eyes closed, an IV taped to my arm. I stagger back, shaking my head. This has to be a nightmare. A small, tinny ding echoes from somewhere down the hall. I don't want to look, but my body turns on its own. The screen at the nurse's station lights up. Lot 85, closed. Below that, a new line appears. Lot 86, now open. I hear a door creak open behind me. I'm running out of time. I don't know who's behind this auction or what they want from me, But I know if I stay here any longer, I'll end up like Ellen Marsh, like Mr. Daniels. Disappeared, sold to some anonymous bidder on the darkest corners of the web. There has to be a way out. I think back to something Frank said when I started this job. No one bothers Ward C anyway. I remember how casually he said it, how cold it sounded. Like he already knew what happened here, night after night. Maybe there's something hidden here, a way to stop this. I head to the basement. The basement is worse than I imagined. Pipes groan overhead, dripping water onto the cracked concrete floor. The air smells rotten, like meat left out in the sun. I follow the sound of typing. Faint clicks echo through the darkness, pulling me toward a door marked Authorized Personal Only. It's unlocked. Inside, the room looks like something out of a nightmare. Computers line the walls, their screens filled with scrolling code and live camera feeds. I see myself on one of them standing in the basement, staring into this very room. Another screen shows room 301, where my body still lies in the bed, motionless. In the center of the room is a terminal. Its black screen is waiting, a blinking cursor mocking me. Enter your bid to exit. My hands hover over the keyboard. I don't know what to do. What does this mean? I whisper. The screen changes. Bid accepted. One life for another. A noise behind me makes me spin around. The tall, shadowed figure that waved at me earlier is there, standing in the doorway, blocking my only exit. It doesn't move. It doesn't speak. It just waits. The cursor blinks. I don't know how long I sat there, staring at the screen. The words repeat in my head, one life for another. The figure takes a step closer. I don't want to die here. My fingers move over the keys, typing a name I wish I could forget. Franklin Moore. The screen flashes green. Bid accepted. Lot 86 closed. The figure stops. The lights flicker, and for a moment, everything goes black. When they come back on, the figure is gone. The screens are off. I'm alone. I don't remember how I made it out of the hospital. I don't remember driving home or collapsing onto my bed. But I remember the sound of my phone vibrating at 3 a.m. A text message. Lot 87, now open. Below it is my friend Frank's photo. I don't sleep anymore. I tried to report St. Augustine Memorial, but no one believed me. The hospital shut down yesterday because of something about funding cuts. But I know the truth. The auction doesn't stop just because the hospital's gone. I keep seeing my name every night flashing behind my eyes with the same single word, the pending.